Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, citizens all of the universe. Welcome to another global transmission from the Fun Squad headquarters here at Fort Lyon, Colorado. Thank you for joining me. It is Sunday, the 26th of May, 2019, and it's about 9:35 p.m. on a very rainy, stormy evening here at Fort Lyon. I am sitting here listening to a little Rainy Day by John Lee Hooker and Van Morrison. It's a beautiful song. I always enjoyed this song. And how's everyone doing? I haven't talked to you guys in a really long time, so I thought I might give you a little shout out here. Put my headphone back in. I have not done a video log in quite some time. So I thought I might do one just to let everybody know how I'm doing. Not that I don't talk to you guys, but it might be good to see me, in person, or not in person, but, see my face on film, as it were. I had some good news today. I was, hold on a second. I gotta adjust this thing here. Let me see. Okay. I had an interesting conversation with a guy. He's he's not really my sponsor, but we decided that we would work together. We're both kind of struggling with some of the steps, so I wanted to just start over and do all the steps. They had 12 steps, the AA, and we're going to do AA first, and then we're going to do NA second. And so I thought, it might be good to do the steps with somebody who's done them, and somebody who's more on my wavelength. Me and John is his name. Me and John get along really good, and he's not here at the fort. He graduated from the fort. He relapsed once, like I did. So, not while he was at the fort, when he got out of the fort. So, I had to start over on August 12th, 2018, because I had a little slip up, which did not bring me any negative consequences from the fort, because they didn't know about it. So, but I have to be, true to myself, and I have to be true to God, and I have to be truthful to others. So that's what I'm doing. I'm starting over. I'm doing the steps with another guy. He lives in Lamar, and his name's John. Anyway, and we talked today, and we got to know each other really well. He asked me a lot of questions, and I was brutally honest with him. He asked me about my previous lives and everything from, diet to sexual stuff and all kinds of crazy topics in between. And I was brutally honest with him, and everything is fine, and he is, completely, he's completely with me, he's been there and done all of that. So, that's good to know that we can relate on a lot of issues. Excuse me. But the main thing I wanted to show you was a little prayer that he had me write in my book. He had me get a composition book, and so I got it, and I wrote down this prayer that he wanted me to write. I actually wrote it in the big book that I have on the first page. And then he told me to read the first 164 pages by next week, which I can probably do. I've read parts of the big book before. Not all of it, but parts of it. Just mostly the stories, some of the stories, and probably not all the way through. I get I get kind of I get distracted and I get bored easily. So I'm just going to do my best. He said, just do my best to muddle through it, and so that's what I'm going to do. But anyway, I wanted to show you this poem because it really, poem, it's prayer. It's kind of a poem prayer. I don't know. It's a prayer. But anyway, and so he had me write my my sobriety date, which is wrong. That should be 2018. So I don't know what I was thinking there. But anyway, this isn't the one I wrote in the book. This isn't what I wrote in the big book. This is just from a piece of paper that I wrote down on a notepad. So, and it goes like this. I'll just read it. It's called the Set Aside Prayer, and it's it's for Alcoholics Anonymous. And it says simply, God, please help me to set aside what I think I already know about myself, my alcoholism, this book, and how to do these steps, and my relationship with you, so that I can have a new experience with you. You can teach me something new. Amen. And so I thought that was really a neat prayer, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. And also, I went to a meeting today, and I was really encouraged by that meeting, and so I wanted to. I had taken a few notes from some really interesting things that were said in the meeting, and I just wanted to share them with you. One said, somebody said, "Live free," and then also there was a podcast called "The New One." I'm sorry, "The One You Feed," and I think I get what that is. It's an old Cherokee tale about two wolves. There's the wolf who is the negative energy, the greed and the hostility and the anger, and then there's the wolf who is loving and kind and compassionate. And which wolf wins depends on which one you feed. So I think that's kind of a lot what they're talking about, called the one you feed. Also, it was noted that setbacks are not an escape to stop, which really I could relate to that, and not really. I could, that made sense to me, and so it was encouraging to me. Also, a friend of mine spoke, and he spoke about this owl analogy, and he said that he was at somebody's house, and there was an injured owl dying, and it looked like it may have been flying and hit some rocks, because there were some rocks right where it was, and it couldn't fly away, and it was obviously dying, he said. But he noticed, or he just kept thinking that it didn't feel sorry for itself, and it didn't know that it was dying, but it never thought about giving up. It just kept trying and trying and trying until finally it did die. And I don't know if we know for sure whether animals know they're dying or not. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. But he was pretty confident that it did know it was dying, and that's why it wasn't giving up. And I thought that was encouraging too. And then somebody said, change will come naturally. All you have to do is be willing. And so you don't have to really try to change so much. You try to change this behavior or that behavior, because over time, those behaviors will just change naturally. Or change, just takes time, I guess. And then also, somebody wanted to say that they were focusing on positivity. And that it takes more energy to focus on the negative. And the negative energy is bondage, and positivity was freedom, which I could relate to that, and I thought that was encouraging too. And then finally, I wanted to give my condolences and prayers to a lady by the name of Marianne and her family, who have experienced some rather tragic events recently. We're very sorry. I'm very sorry for that, and my thoughts and my prayers go to Marianne. And so that was about all I wanted to say. I hope everyone is having a great evening and I hope you have a great week. I'm doing well, and I'm still chugging along here at the fort. So I hope everyone has enjoyed this. Okay, bye everyone. See ya.